This looks amazing.
Wow.
Wow. Welcome to Florence. We are so excited to show you around this beautiful city for the next 2 days. We're gonna hit up the best things to eat, see, and do here.
Do you think if I get naked, people will be queuing up to see me as well?
We'll show you some of the most famous spots in the city, but we'll also include some hidden gems that a lot of people don't know about. We're starting off at Piazza della Signoria, one of the most beautiful squares in Florence. Behind me is the Vecchio Palace, which is the medieval city hall. Right next to it is the Fountain of Neptune, this massive marble and bronze fountain. On the other side of the city hall, you have the Loggia dei Lanzi, this giant open-air gallery. Inside of it are 11 sculptures by the Italian masters. And just a short walk from here is the Piazza del Duomo. Holy moly! Wow, look at this square. This is the Piazza del Duomo. In the middle of it sits the massive cathedral of Florence called the Duomo. Probably one of the most photographed buildings in all of Italy. The beautiful marble, the statues, the frescoes is unbelievable.
And we're actually gonna start with climbing the Duomo, which gives you an excellent view of the city.
Built in the 1400s, this dome is older than America, taller than the Statue of Liberty, and still the largest of its kind in the world today. So to start the climb, first you enter the cathedral and then you go through this little side door and you enter this really narrow, winding staircase.
It's only a short little climb, 463 steps.
Whoa! So when you get about halfway up, you get to see the dome on the inside, and it has this massive, massive fresco of the Final Judgment. Whoa! It's getting really steep. The balls and the money it took Florence to build all this in the 1400s are what kicked off the Renaissance. We're now at the very tippity-toppity of the dome. This view is just insane. All those little towers that you can see popping up all around the city, and then way off in the distance, the rolling hills of Tuscany. Now, this climb has made me really hungry, so we're gonna go in search of an Italian brekkie. Down there. There's no dome top bar here.
For breakfast, Italians don't do bacon and eggs, they do cappuccino e cornetto. It's like a croissant, but always has filling on the inside. They have multiple options to choose from. That's so good. So flaky and buttery. This tastes like actual, real coffee. Unlike the ones you get like the bigger chains like Starbucks, where they ask if you want a mocha latte venti.
And I have a classic Italian pastry. This is a maritoso, a brioche bun filled with loads and loads of whipped cream and then topped with powdered sugar.
Look at the size of that bun.
Oh, I love this. It's really, really good. I've been dreaming of coming to Italy all winter long, of just the springtime, enjoying the beautiful food and the sunshine, and I'm so glad that we're finally here. Now that we've had some brekkie, we're gonna head to the Accademia, one of the highlights of Florence, and it's home to one of the most famous statues in the entire world. He's 500 years old, he's naked, and he really draws a crowd. This is actually the line to get into the museum. It runs all the way around the block behind us.
It's crazy. It'll probably take you at least an hour, maybe even 2 hours to get in.
But we don't like queuing, so we didn't do that. We actually bought a skip the line ticket on Get Your Guide. Instead of doing all this, we are going to do...
Okay, thank you.
We're in.
Welcome inside the Accademia, home to some of the most important Florentine art from the 13th to 16th century. Although, let's be honest, everyone comes here for one reason: David. There he is, people! Michelangelo's David. This is a statue that every human being on Earth has seen at least one picture of in their lifetime, but he's massive. as I look at it, I kind of have to remind myself that this was actually carved out of marble. Like his skin looks so smooth. You can see the veins on his arms and his hands. Unbelievably detailed. Michelangelo carved David from a single rejected block of marble, and he was just 26 years old when he did it. But in Florence, David is more than just a masterpiece. He's a symbol of the Renaissance. After centuries of life revolving around religion, the Renaissance shifted the focus to human potential.
Do you think if I get naked, people will be queuing up to see me as well?
Surrounding David are a couple sculptures Michelangelo started but never finished. He believed his figures were already inside the stone, alive but trapped, and it was his job to set them free. But these particular ones will remain imprisoned forever. Okay, now it is time for lunch.
You can't really come to Florence without trying the Italian sandwich because it's what they're really famous for, especially here in Florence. And this is the #1 shop to try it. Have you tried it? It's good? I'm working here.
Oh, that's great.
He works here.
Now, a word of warning. If you come to Florence and you call this place a sandwich shop, you're gonna upset some Italians. To them, it is perfection on bread. Al Antico has over 40,000 reviews on Google, and it is so popular that lines often stretch down the street, with the shop serving about 1,000 sandwiches a day.
Oh my God, that's incredible! Look this! I can't believe it! 1, 2, 3!
Oh, this smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this at home. There's so many options to choose from. I just need to come back here. I already know that. I took the tartufo #2. Tartufo is truffle. I have prosciutto, which is dried ham, very thinly sliced. There's a pecorino cream. Pecorino is a type of cheese, like very flavorful. And they've got some spicy eggplant in there as well. Cheers, guys. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Like, if you would see this sandwich, you maybe think like it's not that special, but the Italian cuisine is all about like the freshness and the quality of the ingredients. Keep it simple and just make something really, really good.
I have the prosciutto with Italian mozzarella, pistachio cream, and a pistachio crumble. It looks and smells really good. This is no Subway sandwich, people.
No.
This is the real deal.
You need to come here when you come to Florence. Like, one of the best things to do is just visit one of the old, spectacular Italian palaces. The biggest one and the best one is actually right across the river in a different neighborhood. So we're heading there now.
The great thing about the city center of Florence is that it's super compact. It's only a 10-15 minute walk from where we are right now to get to the palace. Along the way, we're gonna make a couple pit stops because there's some really beautiful Renaissance architecture and gelato shops as well. Walking through Florence feels like a highlight reel of European architecture. Arches, sculptures, stunning buildings everywhere, and that is no accident. During the Renaissance, powerful banking families like the Medici paid top artists to turn Florence into a masterpiece. So we are now walking underneath this beautiful passageway that runs alongside the Arno River. And right around the corner here, we're gonna walk onto the Ponte Vecchio, the Vecchio Bridge, to cross the water. So this is the Ponte Vecchio. It was built in 1345 and it is the oldest bridge in Florence. It's lined with buildings on both sides. Today it is packed with jewelry shops, but it actually used to be full of butchers just throwing their meat scraps into the river. It's also the only bridge in the city that wasn't destroyed in World War II, supposedly because Hitler just really liked the view. What's really cool is that up top here you have the Vasari corridor, which is a secret passageway that was built by the Medici family in the 16th century, and they use it to move unseen between the city center and the Pitti Palace, which we're going through right now.
I actually really love how in the middle of the bridge here you have a beautiful view of like the rolling Tuscan hills in the background, and on the other side you can see like the typical traditional Italian houses. So colorful, and I really love this.
It's really, really beautiful. Super, super crowded, but so beautiful. Now around the Ponte Vecchio, because it is such a popular stop, you'll find tons and tons of gelato places. You'll probably find some good gelato just about anywhere in the city, but we put a ton of research into finding some of the best spots, and one of the best gelato shops in Florence is actually supposed to be right around here.
This ice cream shop comes recommended by locals because it's one of the best ones in this neighborhood. And I have a confession to make. I actually know it's good because last night when we arrived here, we had some ice cream here.
Dos sabores in vasito.
We took the very best flavors that they have. I've got a strawberry, nice and fruity, and then underneath the nocciola, a hazelnut.
Oh, a hazelnut is so good. Wow.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna just have to come and live here in Florence. Like, once you've tasted all the good food here, it's like hard to go back to anything else.
The way you can tell which Italian ice cream shop is a good quality gelato shop, when you arrive, look at the ice cream. If they put it in these super big piles with a bunch of toppings and sauces on top of it, there's a good chance you're not at an original gelato shop. The best shops actually keep their ice cream under these metal lids so that the gelato is the exact perfect temperature. So if you arrive to a spot and the entire thing is covered with lids, you can't see ice cream, that's a good shop.
This coffee flavor is actually really good as well. Try it. Not too much, Kim.
Anyways, time to go to the Pitti Palace. Okay, we have made it to the palace. Look at the line here for the ticket office. Luckily, we have a skip the line ticket. Honestly, you need it so badly when you come to Florence. Every place has massive queues. You're gonna spend a lot of time waiting in line, so I can't recommend the skip the line tickets enough. We bought all of ours on Get Your Guide. We use them all of the time to book our tours. They have thousands of activities. I'm gonna make a list for you in the description box down below so you know exactly which ones to get, and you can use our link to buy them. It gives us a small kickback. That's it. It's just like magic. The Pitti Palace is huge, over 30,000 square meters. That is 6 football fields of pure luxury. Lavish living quarters, endless art galleries, and hundreds of Renaissance masterpieces. But here's the wild part. This palace wasn't built by a king or a queen. It was built by Luca Pitti, a private banker in the 15th century with more money than sense. It seems people in the Renaissance were really fascinated by naked statues. I think these sculptures had like a phobia for pants or something. But why did one man need all this? Well, to prove himself. Pitti wanted to outshine the Medici, the most powerful, feared family in Florence. They had money, influence. They basically ran the show behind the scenes. So Luca built a palace bigger than theirs. Kind of like Jeff Bezos building a mega mansion just to flex on Elon Musk. To put this into perspective, there's more than a dozen rooms we've seen so far that look as good or even more richly decorated as this one. One of the fanciest palaces we've seen so far in Europe. But there was one problem. Luca went broke in the process. The Medici bought the palace and moved in themselves. The guy who tried to beat them ended up handing them the keys. Feels like we have reached the rolling hills of Tuscany, because this garden is all uphill. If it was me and I had so much money, I would spend part of it on an elevator or something just to avoid this.
I never expected that Florence would be actually this beautiful. I know it's popular for a reason, but it has actually like surpassed my expectations. Now we're heading to one of the best sunset spots in the city. We've been to Italy a bunch of times before, and honestly, evenings are some of our favorite moments here because it is just so magical. So I read how this is one of the most beautiful sunset views in the entire city of Florence. And it seems that is right. And everyone knows about it and everyone comes here. Not exactly the start to our evening we were hoping for, even though the sunset was beautiful. We were just about to go into the city for dinner when we noticed 2 musicians playing for the crowd. We came for the sunset views, but Italy had something else in store.
One of those moments you don't plan for, but you never forget.
Cheers! We've come to a great restaurant, still in the same neighborhood, across the water, a little bit away from like the very touristy city center. I found this local trattoria. Trattoria is a bit like a restaurant, but less formal. Slightly different menu, and prices are also way better here.
Just love this beautiful little square.
We're starting this Italian dinner first, as you should, with aperitivo.
What we're having is called an Aperol Spritz. It's like a classic Italian cocktail made of Aperol, orangey, bittery kind of aperitif. And then they add Prosecco, which can only make it better, and a little splash of sparkling water to it. It's like a little bit bitter, a little bit sweet, super refreshing.
And to go with the aperitivo, you have the antipasti, which are the appetizers, like small bites to have together with your aperitivo. Then you have the primi piatti, the first course, which is usually some type of pasta dish. After that, you have the secondi piatti, or the second course, which is usually some meat or fish-based dish. And then after that, you have my favorite part, the dolci, the desserts. So you have appetizer, first course, second course, dolci. But you don't need to take them all. You can just combine if you want. An appetizer and a first course, appetizer and second course. You can do whatever you want.
As an appetizer, we have gusta crostini, which is toasted bread, topped with soft burrata cheese, sardines, and sun-dried tomatoes. Wow, there's an explosion of flavors happening in my mouth.
This is what I really love about Italian cuisine. You take simple ingredients, just a piece of bread, some cheese, and a little bit of sardines on there, and it just tastes amazing.
This is a ravioli bolognese. These pastas here are just 10, 12 euros or something. I actually asked the waiter what he recommended, and he recommended this. Very meaty pasta is cooked al dente to perfection. It's like they do in Italy. This is my favorite part of the day, the part where we eat.
Alright, I have another type of pasta. It's made with some pesto sauce, which is homemade, some creamy cheese, and then some dried tomatoes as well. You can really taste like this pesto is made with a lot of love.
Should we do halfsies? I don't think we're doing halfsies. As a dessert, I took the world famous Italian tiramisu. Look at this. Look at how creamy it is. Amazing.
I have something that just really looks decadent. This is called a semifreddo. It's more like a frozen mousse, and it's topped with caramel, crumbled almond cookies, and then some powdered sugar. It's sweet, it's salty. It's amazing.
This is only day one. Tomorrow we're gonna do one of the highlights of Florence. We're gonna do a lot more food, and the grand finale is going to be dinner with pasta, a massive cheese wheel. It's going to be amazing. So we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Today we have another action-packed day. There is so much we haven't shown you yet here in Florence. We're gonna have a little Italian brekkie in a minute, but we're gonna start off the day with a beautiful church in the Santa Croce neighborhood. This is the Santa Croce Church. Now visually, the cathedral that we saw yesterday might be a little bit more ornate and a little bit more spectacular, but the reason this church is so special is because of what lies inside. This church is known as the Temple of the Italian Glories because this is where some of the most famous figures in all of Italian history are actually buried. Michelangelo, who sculpted David, Galileo Galilei, and Machiavelli. So this church is kind of like the Hall of Fame of Italy. It's also the largest Franciscan church in the world. This place is massive. It's massive. So massive, you could fit a Boeing 737 airplane inside. Pro tip, if you're coming to Italy and you want to visit churches, make sure to always have something on you that covers your shoulders and to wear a longer dress or pants that covers your knees because this is a deeply religious country and if you don't play by those rules, you might not be let into the church.
Ooh, this looks good. This morning we wanted something different than the typical Italian breakfast of cappuccino e cornetto. So we came to one of the best rated breakfasts and brunch spots, Mela Luca. I ordered myself some eggs Benedict. This looks amazing. Got some poached eggs, some avocado muffin, and then some creamy Hollandaise sauce. And of course a very Instagrammy large cappuccino because... Ooh.
What are you doing to that egg? That is really, really good. Because this is a super popular spot. You'll literally find yourself queuing up here in the morning. And they have a small menu. I think they only do like their greatest hits. Speaking of their greatest hits, there is not a table in this brunch spot that doesn't have a huge cinnamon bun on it. Oh my god, I can already feel it's nice and warm. The plate is nice and warm. It looked super, super decadent. That's some good buns. Wow. Now this morning we're gonna go to the Uffizi Gallery. When you research Florence, this is one of the highlights. To be honest, I don't really understand why very well, because it looks nice, but it also doesn't have like the big famous thing like the David at the Academia. So we're gonna go check it out, see if it's worth it. The Uffizi Gallery sits right along the Arno River, just steps from the Ponte Vecchio. The Uffizi was built in the 16th century by Giorgio Vasari at the request of Cosimo de' Medici, the Grand Duke of Tuscany. It was supposed to be a massive government complex where Florence's bureaucrats would basically push papers under a nice, impressive roof. Now, I know visiting the Renaissance equivalent of the DMV doesn't sound very thrilling, but what makes this place unique is that the Medici were art obsessed, and they knew how to flaunt it. The family transformed the top floor into their private gallery, showcasing works that they commissioned from some of the greatest artists of the era. In these offices, HR was short for High Renaissance.
Some of these rooms here are just like really something else. Like this room is full of statues, beautiful marble floor, and then some of the biggest paintings I've ever seen.
The reason you and I get to enjoy all of this today is thanks to Anna Maria Luisa de' Medici, the last of the legendary family line. She gifted the entire collection to the city of Florence, but made them promise that none of it would ever leave the city. So is the Uffizi worth it? Hell yes. Just do yourself a favor and book those skip the line tickets like we did, or you'll be spending your Italian vacation in queues instead of cafes. For lunch, we are heading to the Mercato Centrale, aka the Central Market of Florence. It dates back to 1874 when it became the city's culinary headquarters.
Wow, everything just looks so good here. We're now on the ground floor where they're selling like fresh produce right behind me. Selling some cheeses, parmigiano, meats, like everything truffle. It just looks and smells so good here. The big blocks of parmigiano, actual real parmigiano. Try the 48, the medium one, medium strong. So this is the 48 months one. This is already like kind of medium strong.
Oh, that is some good parmigiano.
Wow.
That is nothing like the stuff you buy at the supermarket.
No. Can we get some?
Yeah.
This shop also looks really good. They have these big hams hanging all over the ceiling, and a lot of tasters as well. So, thank you. Oh wow. Is prosciutto?
No, pancetta.
Pancetta. Ah, that's really good. Oh, this smells like truffle soap. Oh wow, that's good.
But this
This one? Okay, well.
One of each.
So good.
Cheese and honey, okay.
Vai.
That is good honey.
I just really love you can walk around, taste a bunch of stuff, and then have some like really high quality cheeses and meats to take home. Like,
all those small little samples have actually made me a little bit more hungry. But upstairs there's actually supposed to be a food court as well. So we're gonna check that out, see if we can grab ourselves lunch. I got a trio of crostinis, which is basically sliced baguette with various toppings on there, and he even put some truffle shavings on.
smells so good, Kim.
It smells really good. This one, I think, is the mortadella, the meat, and then they have some soft Italian cheese on there and a little bit of pistachio shavings. How good does this look? He drizzled it with olive oil and then added some truffle on top because why not? The crunchiness, the softness of the cheese, the truffle. That's the nice thing with the food court. I can just have this dish and then you can have a pizza. You can all have whatever you want and just sit together.
Well, you can't come to Italy and not have pizza. They have a pizzeria here with a traditional oven. Looks so good. So many people are queuing up there. This is a pizza with 2 types of cheese, mozzarella and some smoked provolone cheese topped with some sausage. They don't use many ingredients, but what they use high quality and you can really taste the difference.
So right outside of the Mercato Centrale, you have the San Lorenzo leather goods market. It runs all the way around the market. There's dozens of stalls here. Florence is super famous for its leather goods. Apparently, it's been the hub of Italian leather production since the 13th century. Now, honestly, I think this is a little bit more of a touristy area. There's leather shops all around the city here.
And they're selling, like every shopper seems to be selling like pretty much the same stuff and brand.
Pretty much the same stuff. But so you can come here, in my opinion, to get like a nice belt or something. But if you're in the market for some high quality, expensive boots or a leather jacket or something, I would probably go to one of the boutique shops and not to these stalls. But just in case you want some nice small souvenirs like a wallet or a small purse, it's out here. Do we need a purse for our Parmigiano?
Parmigiano purse. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, Kim.
Legend has it Florence invented the gelato. And the people here in Florence do some very naughty things with their gelato. This is an affogato. We've come to the Vivoli Affogato bar, which has an extremely long queue. So Vivoli's is a family-run ice cream shop since the 1930s, and inside is basically like an affogato factory. You have this one lady whose sole job is to get the ice cream into a pre-chilled cappuccino cup. She spoons it into the cup and leaves a square in the middle, and then they fill it up with fresh, hot brewed Italian espresso. It looks and smells amazing in there. I read online that this shop sells at least 350 cups of affogato every day, but judging by the fact that half of Florence is here, I would say it's probably a lot more than that on the weekends. So I took the one with pistachio nuts and Naick took the classic one. Apparently the best way to have it is to just dip it in, dunk it into the coffee like this, and just try. Whoa.
Wow. I think I'm going to have my morning coffee every day like this from now on.
Florence style. Oh, it is really good.
I really love the strong, bitter coffee flavor and with the sweetness and the vanilla.
I think this has to be the ultimate Valhalla for every coffee lover.
In a little bit, we're going for our cheese wheel truffle fire adventure. But first, we're gonna do something really cool you can only do in Florence. Ciao. Grazie. Now, how cool is this? Whenever you see one of these in the streets, you can just knock on it or ring the bell and you can order some wine.
Cheers.
I have a local red wine from Tuscany. just has so much flavor in it.
So Florence actually has 150 of these wine windows located all over the city, mainly in the historic part of the city center where we are now. And the reason these actually exist is because a couple centuries ago there was a bubonic plague, and people were trying to figure out a way to keep their customers happy, keep serving alcohol, but without contracting the plague. And they just made these little windows. All they had to do was put an arm and a hand through there, and they could still serve people beverages without running the risk of getting the plague.
And they became really popular again during COVID times. Actually, it's so cool. Jim, like, I'm still like halfway in my glass, and yours already finished.
It's like magic, this little door. They just give it to you and you can drink it al fresco outside while enjoying the beautiful views of the city. And you can just people watch a little bit. And just when we thought Florence couldn't possibly get any better, it gets better. Tonight we are in Osteria Pasteia for a proper feast. This restaurant was almost booked out for our entire time in Florence, but we managed to snag a table at 9 p.m. We started with some wine and some appetizers, a cured ham and cheese platter. It was great, but that you can get at any restaurant in Florence. Our main dish is something you cannot. First, they roll out an enormous wheel of aged Grana Padano, which is kind of like Parmesan cheese. Then they take some mystery Italian liquor and actually set the thing on fire, transforming it into a molten cauldron of cheesy, gooey deliciousness. Then they take some fresh tagliatelle pasta, toss that into the wheel, slowly turning it over so that every strand gets coated in the cheese, and just when you think they're done, they top it with black truffle. In Italy, almost every meal is good.
It smells so much like truffle.
But some are memories for life. And we're only just getting started on this Italy trip. If you want to see more of Florence, check out our Florence food tour right here and make sure to subscribe to see more of our Italy tour, Venice, Rome, the Amalfi Coast. Ciao!